What's up, my people? Happy Saturday. Welcome to another beautiful weekend. I might be Douglas, and today I'm going to be showing you how I created this Father's Day poster. Actually, very quite interesting one, though. So, fasten your seatbelts, get your popcorn and your suya and your Coke ready. Yeah. But before we dive into it, if you are new to this channel, you are highly welcome. I really do appreciate you for taking out the time to be here. Do well to check out the previous poster breakdown videos I've done in CorelDRAW and Photoshop. Links are in the description below. And please help support this channel by hitting the subscribe button and turning on the post notification bell, so you'll be among the first people to be updated when I drop a new video. Alright, so let's just get straight to it. I'm gonna be turning off my artboards, turn off this artboard, and I would focus on the first one, and just turn off this, just turn off everything here. Let's go, bam. Yeah, so first thing I did was to add a newspaper effect. Don't worry, the elements I used in creating this design, textures, fonts, all of them will be uploaded on the resources folder, so also check the description below for the resources folder to access those files. You're welcome. So I use this newspaper effect. I reduced the opacity, the feel, and I also changed the blend mode for me to achieve that effect I wanted. So it's a newspaper effect, yeah. So I just used the linear light blend mode, and then I had to reduce my feel and opacity a bit to achieve this. So that's what I did. I intentionally skipped this. I'm going to explain why I skipped this stuff. I just created a copy for those things that you're actually going to see as we progress, right? All right, so the next thing I now did was to create this stuff here. Now I'm going to it's a smart object, so I'm going to open it so you would see how I was able to create this pattern and every other thing here, right? But what I actually did was, let me just go straight to this tie. You see this tie here? I downloaded this tie. How is it showing white? Okay, let's remove the color of this thing. So yeah, I downloaded this tie from Flat Icons. This is actually the tie that was used on that design. I downloaded this tie from Flat Icons, you could see here. So I just made a duplicate. I kept it there just in case I wasn't able to achieve what I wanted to achieve, and I just created that duplicate and kept it there. Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys what I did. Let's go into that. This is actually the main part of the entire design before the write-up. So let's just open this. Okay, good. So this is you could see how funny looking this thing is. So this is like the behind the scenes of the beautiful designs you've been seeing there. So this is what I did. So I created shapes, right? I created individual shapes. I just created like 3 shapes here using my rectangle tool. Yeah, created 3 shapes using my rectangle tool. Because it's a Father's Day design, that's why I had to use color blue. I mean, blue relates very well to men. Blue and red relates very well to men. So I had to use those colors. So I used this. This was blue. That is for this shape here. Very simple. Just click on your pen tool here. You click on shape. Click white. We're going to click white here. We have to create, definitely you have to like create a layer, right? Just click here, click here, click here, click here, and click here. And I guess we are done with our shape. We could just bring it inside, and if we take it out, if we just take it out, you would see the entire, you could see the shape. Yeah, so this is the shape that we created with our pencil. So that was what I used to create these 3 shapes here. Yeah, so always make sure that it's on path. not path, sorry. Always make sure it's on shape, right? Select your fill color and then you do the needful. So that was how I created that. All right, these were the colors I downloaded from Adobe Colors, so just gonna go straight. So this is my first rectangle here, and then sorry, I'm going to delete this shape that I created by mistake. So these are the pictures. So I just added like 6 pictures to each of those frames, right? So I added two pictures because I know that one picture is going to be at the left hand side, one picture is going to be at the right hand side. So I added this one. This is the first picture. I converted it to black and white, and then I used the overlay effect. This is a picture here, so I converted it to black and white. Then we now use the overlay effect so it could blend with this particular color, and then I also click masked that image. So if I remove this image from here now, sorry, let's go back. So I can just bring out, you see me bringing out this image, so that's just what I did here. Same thing for the left hand side, another picture, converted it to black and white. So I was just trying different blend modes to see how it would properly be visible with the color. Mind you, these are like different shades of blue which you're going to see as we progress. So I did this one, same thing here, created another shape, also this one too, converted the image to black and white, used the overlay. This one worked. The next one here at the right, same thing, black and white overlay. I reduced the opacity a little bit. Then for this other one too, same thing. Inserted my picture here, converted to black and white, converted this to also black and white. Now the trick was that as I was doing this thing, right, I had to save it and check to be sure that the faces are actually like visible here. Okay, I needed to make sure that the faces are actually visible here. So I was making like some quite adjustments, put this picture here just to make sure that the faces are properly like visible in the frame and all. So that was what I did. And I just, this place is not really looking so nice, so I just cleaned some parts here so that yeah, the tie is actually covering those parts, so you won't really notice it. So that was what I did for that, and then that was it for this. So I did this, saved it, and then I'll just click on no. Then we get to this. So this is it. So if I disable this layer, this is what you're going to see here. Okay, if I disable this layer, this is what you're going to see. So how I was able to put this was, now we're getting back to the tie effect and all. Okay, but before we get that, I added a background here just a bit. I think I downloaded this background from Pinterest, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be in the resource folder. Converted it to black and white. I did some touches. This is actually the original image. If you would want to come here to the normal, this is how the background is. Okay, so just added my overlay blend mode, converted to black and white and all that, and then click masked it. So what I did here was to just trim off this tie on this particular place. If you could see, I just trimmed off this tie. I just placed the tie here and then I trimmed it off on that shape. So if you want to know how to trim off this, I have previous videos on how I actually did this effect. I've tried this effect before on like 2 or 3 of my poster videos, how to trim off a particular object on another object. So you can watch my previous videos so you could learn how to do that. I don't want us to waste so much time in this class, so that's it. So just did that, and then I made duplicates. I already said that. So next thing was to now add my text. So I generated this text on ChatGPT and then just inserted it here. Then these were like write-ups that I added at the side. So father, mentor, teacher, pastor. So I just added those things just to describe my papa in the poster. and then we now have the Father's Day. I rotated it, so there's no point leaving it in horizontal mode, so you just have to rotate it vertically to fit this shape. And it's also a creative way of writing it. And then we'll now write happy. So like I said, I use like different, it's actually like a blue monochrome color, right, but different shades, right? So that's what I used for this particular design. So place it this way, and then I also wrote my date, today's date of, the day of that event, 15th June day. Made it red. I think the font I used, for this, guys, let's just go to it. Sora. Yes, I used Sora for the entire thing. Yeah, Sora. Everything I used here was Sora, apart from the day. So I think the day, what I used for the day was black signature. I think that font, I've used it it's like one of my favorite script fonts, so I've used it for most of my designs recently. So I'm sure you're going to see that also in the resource folder with others. So yeah, black signature is there. So those fonts are already there, so check it out. So I added all those things, and then I now added my GIC logo in black. Finished that, converted everything to one particular design. I'm going to turn on my keyways for that. So normal we have also shown it, just shift control alternate E. It converts it to one particular layer, then you right click and you convert to smart object before you now go to your camera raw, which is shift control A to make some changes. Okay, I've shown you guys how I do my edits on camera raw through my previous videos, so I'm not going to start going through that because of time. So you could just check the previous videos to catch up with that. So I'm just going to show you what I did in camera raw that gave me brought out a more pop. So you could see the difference between this and you could see this. So it just made it more crispy and more clear and vivid. So that was what I did for this. And then the next thing I did was to just duplicate the same thing. The only thing I changed here was just the color. So I played with my camera raw. Yeah, so I just went to the camera raw. Go to camera raw here. You would go down to the color mixer option. Yeah, so this is where I played with it because the color of the original design is blue. So I just clicked here and I started just playing around. So you could see how the effect is just changing. I was playing around with this, right? So like I've mentioned in my previous videos, if you want to change color, it's not one-sided. You have your hue and saturation to do that. You have color overlay in your blend mode options to do that, blending mode options to do that. You also have your camera raw. If one is not working, try the other one. Definitely one of these options must work. So yeah, so you could see how I'm changing the colors and all that. So that was how I achieved that particular one. I'm going to say no because it's already done. So yeah, this is actually quite a very short and very simple one. Let me know what you think about this tutorial in the comment section. Do well to like this video, share, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so that you'll be updated on the new videos I will keep dropping. All right guys, see you guys next Saturday. Peace.